Welcome back, everyone. I've got a little bit of a special video for you all today. The other day, while streaming on Twitch, one of my viewers, Dapper, asked for a replay analysis of a 3v3 game of his. This video is going to be that analysis, including responding to viewer chat, which isn't going to be visible on screen. If, during this video, you decide that I've earned your subscription, hit that button down below and tell me what you thought of my analysis. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, let's get on to Dapper here. Let's do a replay. Okay. Your kickoff is a little sloppy. It could get cleaned up a little bit. What I will say is when you do a kickoff, you don't want to do a front flip. You actually want to do a diagonal flip. Because it's actually faster, because what you'll notice is that when you do a front flip, your nose actually kind of hits the ground and you go a little bit higher. And you don't really want to go high when you're doing this. You just want to go like straight and forward. What I will say, let's get back to the overhead here, is that after the kickoff, what should be happening, and let's look at this here. So what should be happening on the kickoff is you are taking the kickoff. L mill, we'll just call him L, should actually be going for the back right boost. And Kaidek should be cheating up. So what that's going to mean is that you're going to come up, you're going to get the boost, or you're going to get the ball, and then you can either go left or right. I would actually kind of prefer you to go to the right, but that's ultimately not what's going to happen here. High deck actually should be doing this. But yeah, however, you know, the kickoff happens and you get kicked halfway over to here. I would actually prefer you to go get this boost because you're here. And unfortunately, your teammate's not here to do anything. But you didn't know this at the time. There's no way you could have known this unless you were, like, actually looking. Alright, so we're back to the kickoff, and we see that you got punted halfway across the field to this side. And really, you should be... Because of how that kickoff went, you should get this boost over here, rather than try and come across the field, get less boost, and stay close to the play. Because in an ideal world, this player should be back. This player should be playing the ball right now. Or at least being second man behind L. And so, ultimately, what's going to happen now is, obviously, because your teammate's not back, we have the two of you racing like this for the ball. Whereas, if you had gone for this boost over here, you could have grabbed it and be looking at it from this direction. And obviously, this would be your ball if Kaidek wasn't there. Or, it, you know, because they would be somewhere else. So this is how I'd rather you approach this ball, you know, coming across the net. Because if DJ hadn't missed the ball, that would have been a score. You know, because I mean, if we look at it like this, you got no one in net. And it just so happens that DJ's chasing the ball in a weird way. All right, so we see Kaidek is back. You know, we can tell this is a lower rank. You know, because an aerial failed, but also you should have jumped for this right here. Right here is when you should jump for this. Like, I know it's uncomfortable, but in a higher rank, you will have to jump for this as soon as it bounces off that back wall. Like, actually, you should be chasing this to the corner, but your teammate jumped in front of you. But right here is when you're supposed to jump for this. Because a high rank, that ball is going to be challenged right now. And you can see you waited and your opponent had time to go and jump for it. So with a little bit of not confidence, but a faster decision making here, you could have beaten this guy to the ball. A lot of times when I could see where I'd be too close to it if I had jumped sooner. Not really. So the thing you have to remember is that with this ball right here, that bounced off your backboard. So it is going away from you. Right? So with a proper aerial, you can get to this right now very fast. Yeah, I'd be close, but not too close. Right, that's a good way to think about it. But when it comes to starting to get into the higher ranks of Rocket League, speed is actually literally just making a decision faster sometimes. Because, when you're at a high level, everyone's going supersonic. Everyone's the same speed. So the only way to actually get somewhere faster is to read the play faster and not react faster, but make a decision faster. Right? Because if everyone's the same speed, no one's going to get there first. So the only way to beat someone is to have your decision be made sooner. It's confidence in your abilities, that's all it is. If I jump now, I'm beating that dude. Well, and partially yes, but also because of what rank he is, he needs to be practicing these things. Like, even if you're not confident in it, you need to do it, to go for it in order to build the skill to do it. And then to build the confidence in the ability. Because if you just sit here and you just let this ball fly over your head every single time, obviously when you first start trying to make these plays and these clears, you're not going to have that confidence. But the more you do it, the more you're going to understand where you make mistakes. And then once you make those mistakes, you'll understand how to correct for it. And then that's when you can have that level of confidence of going, okay, X2 fly is too close to this. If I get up there right now and I get a good bang, this goes all the way to their end of the field and relieves pressure on our team. Does that make sense? Like, just knowing that you can do this as, kind of as fast as possible is, how you start to understand what you can go for, what you can go for, and what you can go for and when. I think I was really just off because of the AFK, but also what you were saying. Right. And so, like, I understand that. Like, I was there at I used to be Diamond at one point. So I completely understand. But you have to have... I mean, the only way I can describe it is the confidence to try things even if it's going to fail. Right? So, like, when you watch me play GC and stuff like that, I try to go for flip resets. I can't do them, but I gotta keep trying it, and I gotta keep working my brain and keep working and learning and figuring it out and all the little differences and details and, all that until the point that I can do it. Right? Like, you've seen me get a couple of them, in game, but that's not because I just sat in free play and tried this. It's because I did it in game. I tried to do it in game, and you may even lose games because of it, but that's okay. Right? Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, it'll feel bad, because you've let your team down, and someone on on your team may go, "Oh, you're so stupid, stop playing the game, uninstall." They may get toxic at you, but you can't let that get to you, because this is the training that you need to do. Right? So, we see he misses here, and your teammate should have went a little faster. They probably didn't have boost, but what I will say is that right here, you're not going to get this ball. Period. For one, what I want to point out to you, and something that you don't really notice in game, is Actually, let's look at it from their perspective. Where do they want to hit this ball? Versus where are you? Like, I understand that the ball was going that way, so you're trying to lead it. But when you look at how close they were, and the view that this person has, why would he hit it towards you? He is going to hit this right down the middle. Or even that way. Alright. So you see the recovery. That's a good use of flip. I see you tried to get this demo or this bump. That's good thinking. I like that. And after it fails, you don't try to like overcommit to like a bump or a play, and you actually rotate behind your teammates. Very good. I will say, like, I know you're trying to be close to the play. You could have been a little wider, just because, you know, if it came back, you know, you'd have been there for any like upcoming shots. Also, especially because you could see both your teammates right now, you are the third man. So if your teammate failed, then the defense would have been on you. Now, what I want to look at here is as I am getting my ups and downs incorrect here. Okay, so we see L comes back, but we also see them turn upfield. And I don't know if you were looking at your teammate here. You can see him here, and you see him go off your screen. But where is he right now? So I understand that you are second man to this ball, but your teammate is ahead of you. So you are actually third man here. I mean, technically you should actually be second man, and because you're starting to get into higher ranks, you're probably gonna want to be here. I mean, just let's be real. Based on the way that these contests are going to start to go, this ball's not going very fast, so there's not a lot of confidence that it's going to be coming mid. And in fact, if anything, it's probably going to come back along this wall, especially because it's in their corner. So what you would maybe want to consider is being maybe here, because you can get up the wall quickly if you need to, and if it kind of spills out here, you can do that too. But if you're over here and this ball goes that way, your only chance is to hope to get it before it comes this way. Yeah, I probably noticed they peeled off and went to second, but I didn't see they circled back. Right, and so this is kind of in the realm of game sense, in that when you notice a player kind of peel off like that, you need to check. Like, you need to see where they go, because he has taken this position and left you as defense. Ball cam had them off cam for me, right? But you still have your camera. Like, you could still turn and look quickly to see where they go. Like, you could turn ball cam off, or even just turn your camera to check. So you're at a point where if you start making mistakes on your rotation because you don't know where your teammate went, it's partially on you, you know? Because you need to be able to recognize that they are in a bad position. Wait until you reach champ in GC. No one knows how to play defense. That is true. However, I am trying to set you up for playing defense in Grand Champ. And part of that is knowing at all times where your teammates are. And it's something that even I have to work on, right? Like, there are times where I don't know when someone is back, but it is something that you got to get into the habit of, you know, you see him go off camera, you go, okay, well, where did he go? Is he going back? Is he going up? You know, even just like a quick check, like, you know, you're here, you know, turning ball cam off, would have you looking this way, and you'd see him over there, and you go, oh shit, he came up. So kind of circle back around and give a little bit more space, because he has chosen where he wanted to play. And ultimately, that's just the way it is. You have to play around that. They have to play around you. It's something called posturing. And so because he has set the posture of being in the aggressive position, you must play more defensive. Because if your teammate here doesn't get this ball, well, both of you are going to be scrambling back, and they've got this whole line of field to play through until both of you can try and hopefully catch him at the goal line, right? So it's just thinking a little bit ahead of what is your worst case scenario. Because if your worst case scenario is hoping to catch this ball before it, crosses a line over here, or unless you can, half flip and get back real quick, they could be going pretty quick. But, you gotta, a good clear here. Not a clear, but a center. And I do want to say that, like, this is a little bit of a lower rank clusterfuck, but because it's lower rank, right? Like, this right here is fine. If I want to be a complete nitpick, is you almost didn't even need to flip into it. And in fact, what you could do is you could just do a single jump and then turn your car so that you land all four wheels on the wall. I watched Beast Mode play last night. Twos, who's against First Killer and LJ. He was teamed with some non-pro. Anyways, he had 12 saves, 10 shots on goal, 1,600 points. Teammate had 200. They lost in overtime. It's like, what else can I do? Right? Yeah. Seeing that, I feel like I could have played a little better by rotating out just in case, but still happy it worked. Right, like I think this was a kind of a happy accident. But when you get into these higher ranks, that play shouldn't be happening, and most likely won't. Because when a ball kind of stalls out like what Kaidak and DJ do here, that ball's not crossing. That's not centering. What's going to happen is they're going to take this ball, they're going to go up the wall, and they're going to come off the wall flying through the air at your goal. So in a situation like this, I'm already planning to get that mid boost and play shadow defense. Because in a high rank, that's not happening. Because people are just that good that that's not going to happen. So like I could, you have 100 boost here. So depending on who comes to get this ball and where and how, depends on how you play it, right? Like you could either get that mid boost to steal it. You could maybe position yourself up on the wall to prevent anything going off the air. Or you can kind of play over by this little boost pad on the right here and kind of play anything that comes across. So if they happen to go up, you try and get them up the wall. If they come infield, you stay grounded and you can just kind of cut infield towards the center. But in a higher rank, like I said, it's not really happening. But anyways, like I said, going and doing a single flip and angling yourself such that you're a little more rolled to your left so that you land on this wall cleanly, and you could have been potentially at that ball. It is a little helpful that Bizarre Bull hits this ball like he does, because he takes it away from DJ essentially, and that gives you the goal. And great shot. Way to be there for it. It's a little bit of an overcommit because of your teammates being there. But at the end of the day, you had all the pressure. You know, they were on their back foot. I'm fine with it. But you do have to be careful once you get to high ranks. Like, that could potentially get cleared. And that could be blamed on you as third man. I like this one because there's a lot of adjusting for the AFK. I mean, sure, but I don't want you to get into like this habit of I'm making adjustments due to AFK versus playing the optimal play. Does that make sense? Because like when there's someone AFK, the optimal play is out the window, right? So I just don't want you to get into like bad habits of, you know, like, oh, this is, you know, because of an AFK I did this, right? Like, granted, it's ranked. It's, or, you know, or even casual. You're playing the game of Rocket League, you do have to deal with it sometimes, and that's just the way it is. But I want to try and teach you the best and optimal things for the optimal situation. But we you know, like you said, we are going to adjust based on it, you know, because it is what it is. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. All right. So in this scenario, for this kickoff, you actually should be going to the left. You should be getting the left corner boost. Granted, you didn't know that Kaidek was AFK when it started, but you should be going to the left and getting the left corner boost. And Kaidek should be cheating up. However, they are AFK. You did choose to go forward, so I'm going to do my critique based off of that. So, in this case, this ball rolls out to your left. The first thing you do, now depending on your abilities, you either book it to this ball fast as you can, or you book it to that back corner boost as fast as you can. Like, I'm talking, you're boosting to get there, because you need that in order to get the clear, to get a good clear, I should say. So in situations like this, with high rank, you are going to have someone from the opposing team challenging this ball very soon. And you need to be prepared either by being in position with boost or clearing this ball such that that their challenge doesn't mean anything. But like, you're right now just driving. And in fact, my prediction is correct. We see a blue opponent come for this ball. So you need to be getting that corner boost and being in position on the wall. Now, I like that you slowed down once you got onto the wall because you needed to see where it went. But I have a feeling you're about to go for this, and in a normal situation, this is not really your ball to go for. Now, granted, your teammate was AFK, so I understand why you did, but in a normal situation, you should not go for that ball because it is very awkward. Along with, you know, after you get bumped here, rotate out. You're not part of this play anymore. Like, you may, you know, you think you are, but you're not. All right. So I like that you use a flip to get back. I think you used a little too much boost, but we're gonna, you know, it'll be fine. What I will say is that when you're coming back for defense here, sometimes it is better to look at defense from the point of view of an attacker. So I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get in net and get prepared for a shot. And that's why you come over here and you do like a 180 power slide turn and you use a little bit of boost. But in a high rank, what you're actually going to want to do is, as soon as this ball starts going up like this, I'm actually going to jump up for it like this, from this view. because he's going to try and, you know, put this down. I don't want him to do that. But if I can get there faster, you know, obviously he still has to drive up to it. But, you know, if I'm just, you know, up there on the wall, or not even up on the wall, but like flying up, sometimes that's better. Like sometimes you have to do that because of how fast they can go at high ranks. But what I will say is, with your chosen path, oops, I just had you there. Let's go back a little bit. I would actually want you, because this ball is still going up, you have two paths here. One, you can actually take the near post, or you can go to the far post. And you chose to go to the far post, which is fine. However, you kind of cut in a little too quickly. And I would actually want you to go a little further out, so you don't have to do such a sharp 180 turn. Because you get in here and then you start using boost. And you've just used 30 boost to turn around that you didn't even need to use. Whereas if you took a wider path, you could have kept a little bit of your momentum and been driving forward instead of using your boost to go 5 inches. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, like I said, from a high level perspective, from right here, I would be jumping for this ball to try and get that defense. Because in a high rank, you gotta clear the backboard. And we can see that they get a pass back, and it's unfortunately a hard shot to save. So I can't really fault you on that. But if you had, you know, if it wasn't so close, taking that wider path might have done you a little bit better. All right. So this kickoff, we should see Kaidak go for it with you cheating up and L going for the back right boost. That's what we should see. Okay, and we see that, you know, Kaidak didn't go for it. And I like that you didn't fully commit here. You probably could have, but I like that you're paying attention to your teammates, and that's very good. Now again, right here, we see that sharp turn with that 90 degree, with that power slide turn, because you didn't go back post. So you have Kaidak here. You need to go back post. It's kind of waiting to see if they're going to be AFK again. It doesn't matter. Like, at this point, we've seen them clear this ball. You need to be back post. L is not in a position to save this ball. You need to be back post. And we see that because right here, you turn infield and it sails over your head. Whereas if you had taken that wider path, okay, yeah, right. Which is fine. You kind of handled that perfect, you know, fine enough, because they didn't have a direct shot. And again, like, that shouldn't be happening, but it is happening. So, you know, we play for it as it is. So, but this goal, I do blame on you. You should have gone, you know, back post, and I'll show you why. Because right here, let's do fly cam here. You know, let's say you drive like this. You're looking at the ball like this, which is very savable. You know, you just, you know, jump up like that. It's gonna be hard, don't get me wrong, but it is savable. But because you were too close, look at how much of the net you left open. Right? So when we look at, you know, this player's view, we see this whole back side of the net is open. And lo and behold, it is. That's right where they place it. Now, again, I want to reiterate that saving that shot is going to be hard. It's going to be you have to react fast to it. But you didn't give yourself the opportunity to do so because you cut in too close. All right. We got to talk about your kickoffs. You're very slow with this. Like, I know you're trying to do a double flip kickoff, but the problem is A, you're doing that front flip, and B, you are boosting like kind of while you're like in the air. So you're kind of like boosting yourself like upwards a little bit. You can actually see, I think, does Kaidak get there before you? He does. He does. I mean, he shouldn't be going for it, but he does get there before you. Because when you do the double flip kickoff, you should have boost left over. And if you don't have boost left over, you've wasted some, and just along the fact that you were a little slower to this than your teammate. So what I kind of tend to recommend is that you kind of boost first, then do your diagonal flip, and you save about 12 to 16 boost as best you can throughout the whole kickoff, like afterwards. So part of why you're a little slow here is because you're boosting in the air and not on the ground. So right here, let's look at this from fly cam. You're boosting upwards. That's why you're a little slow to this. Right? You're not boosting towards the ball. You're actually boosting yourself upwards, which is why you kind of have this long float that, you know, it's like a little bit of a float, you know, before you get there. And, you know, that's making you a little slower to it. So you got to learn these diagonal kickoffs or diagonal flips in order to get better and faster just across the field in general. And it'll help with your boost management. Like, you should have a little bit of boost right here. Okay, so I do kind of like what you did a little bit. You're kind of in a bad situation because the ball's already coming at you. But I do see you. You actually, in this scenario, you wind up turning right, which makes your car from this perspective go left. And when we look at this from fly cam, you're actually kind of not positioning yourself between the ball and the goal. And I understand you try to backflip, you know, into it, but you don't really have a good look at this ball. And I think that's probably just a product of you going, oh shit, I need to turn towards this ball. I need to go right, but that's actually wind up going left. And I think that's what happened here. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what it appears like to me. And then the product of it just tends to go in the net, and you know, that's I don't even think I meant to turn. Okay. Yeah, because essentially, like, you know, the ball's here, and you wind up coming a little bit this way, which makes it all the more easier for the ball to come this way. So, just kind of recognizing... That was weird. That's weird. That's a weird glitch. Huh. Anyways, just kind of recognizing that, like, you need to think about the line between you and the goal when you do your defense. And being, you know, between the ball and the goal. Again, you're a little slow to this. So we got to work on those kickoffs. Wait, where's Kydek going? All right. So what I will say is that when you do these kickoffs, you need to think about which side is actually closer for you for full boost after kickoff. Like, there are going to be few occasions in which after kickoff you need to make the goal line save, but you need to be watching the ball and your teammates in order to make that decision. But that's going to be fewer times than you going to get full boost after kickoff. So when we look at this, typically you're actually going to want to go left after this kickoff. But because of the kickoff, you get bumped and you land on the right side of the field. You can see right here, that big boost is yours. Like, you just need to get that. Because when we look at this from Flycam, so technically, L should be going for that back right boost. Kydek should be cheating up. I don't know where they go. Oh, they jump into it. That's weird. They shouldn't have. Kydek should have been waiting until they see what happens. But the reason why the reason why you should be going like for boost is L got their boost, and the rest of the kickoff, like immediately after kickoff, is about recovering and getting boost. Like, that should be your goal as the person taking the kickoff. So if you'd gotten that corner boost, you could have gotten that boost, and you could be rotating to here, probably about now. You probably could have been, you know, looking here right now. Kydek doesn't make a good touch. You know, I don't know what they're doing. But let's back up here. Yeah, they kind of you know, do something weird here. But again, right here, I think you're being a little you're not going wide enough on your turns back towards net. Like, I would almost kind of even prefer you to go left. I think I assumed they were making the wide rotation there. I mean, if you're talking about Kydek, you know, whatever. They're just in a weird position that they shouldn't be in, really. And so, you know, after the double commit, you just kind of have to play it from there. So right here, I want you to go to the right, all the way right, because think about this. You know, you have 20 boost, you're third man here. So you get this boost. What if that blue player hits this ball? Like, I understand they don't, but I do think you should have been covering more of the net. So now, right here, you are third man again. I've been shopping for shit on Amazon, listening to you in the background, only to realize there's still 3:30 left on the clock. You know, I'm just trying to set them up. This is a deep dive. This is a deep dive. So, right here, you're kind of third man, right? Give this to Milo. I think you need to give them a little space right here, in case they miss this ball. You taking notes? Like right here, I think you should be playing passive, not aggressive. Because Kaidak is still up the field. He's not going to make a save if he comes back. And at this point, you don't know that Blue's going to get this ball either. I knew this one would be a good one because it was close due to good and bad plays. Gotcha. And you could see, like, your teammate takes control of it, and you dove in, and you've used your boost. Whatever you're doing, do the opposite. But I do like that you get the boost and, you know, kind of turn around. Hydak comes across the field. They were kind of closer, and that's fine. So you kind of play behind him and play, you know, kind of the defensive here. Although what I would say, park the bus right here. You don't know where this is going. They have one player on the ball. Park the bus. You actually kind of wind up cheating up too far, and then you kind of let yourself get spooked by what happens, and that makes you turn around. But you could have been going for this ball, and L should not be here at all. You got to give them space. You can see both of your teammates in front of you here, and all of you are on their third of the half, or their third of the field. You need to give them a little space. Your teammates are playing aggressive. You got to let them. Like, it's not going to be the most optimal play, because, you know, in terms of, you know, going GC, anything else, it's not going to be the most optimal play, but you got to let them do it, because they have postured themselves to do it. I was letting L play second man, which is why I was staying back until now. Right. So, you recognize that you are. However, you're kind of in a weird position. I would actually kind of want you to be kind of here, not like over there. Because in a high-level play, this player, he can only hit this ball this way. Unless he gets some weird touch that goes this way. But I would want you to be kind of sitting here looking like this, right? Because most times I was too nervous to play aggressive and have nobody back. And I understand that. And ultimately there were times here that you needed to be more passive, right? Because your teammates are being aggressive, right? For some reason, they're cutting across the field, but that's diamond, baby. You know, you got to deal with it. And so, when you play a little bit more passive and you stick to good, solid, fundamental defense, you'll get scored on less. I wish this was diamond. Wait, what rank is this? I thought you were in diamond. Oh, this is plat 1. Okay. That, you know, okay. Fair enough. I misjudged. For some reason, I thought you said you were in plat or diamond. Maybe I'm thinking snow day. Was it diamond and snow day that you got? Anyways. So right here, this is kind of the okay, that's what I'm thinking. This is kind of the position that I'd want you to be in, because you see that, you know, Kaidak is coming back, your teammate scores, your third man being at midfield gives you a good run up for anything that gets cleared, and if it gets boomed over your head, you're closer to your goal for defense. All right, so you should be going for this. And again, you do the incorrect kickoff. Now, again, right here, you kind of get bumped left, and you wind up going right to follow the ball. Go get the left boost. There's no reason for you with no boost to go forward here. Now, granted, you're going to get this boost But now L has nothing. Kaidek's out of position. He's going to go for it for some reason. But if you had gotten that left boost, you could have been challenging this ball right now. You could have been there in the corner shooting at that open net. You could have been here if you had gone left. Open nets, my one. That's everyone's weakness. It is literally everyone's weakness. I do like that you wait here. L gets a poor touch, so you have to recover. This should be Kaidek's ball to go for. He's probably going to miss. Yep. So now this is your ball. And what I would like to see you do is, unless you're going to air dribble this, just kind of stop right here. Don't jump. Just take the ball on the ground. A, Kaidek's not in a good position. L is out in Narnia. And by hitting this ball like this, with, you know, you didn't even like flip into it, for one. Okay, you did flip into it, but your timing was very poor on it. So, do you remember what a half volley is? A half volley is when the ball hits the ground and starts coming back up. You want to hit it in that time. And in fact, you wind up hitting it when it's on its way down. So when you hit it when it's on its way down, you are counteracting the gravity of the ball. So if you had waited until it started coming up again, you would have gotten a better boom on this. He says, oh yeah, that move. But I would actually rather you have taken the ball on the ground and having control of it. I do like that you get behind your teammate. What I would like to see you do is, where is this blue player right now that's behind you? Where is he? I want you right now to take a guess as to where he is. You saw one go to your corner, to your left. But where is he right now? He says, back corner. That's not back corner. That's a demo attempt. And you can see, he misses. But that is the type of awareness that when you see that player go behind you, you need to know where he's going, because he's probably going to come back for you. He says, I remember that. Exactly. And if you had, and you know, when you look back at this, I saw this for the first time and I knew immediately that that guy was coming back. Only because I saw him go to the corner. Because it's the perfect move to come back, get the third man on defense. Then there's no defense, and now these two players would be on their back foot trying to play defense. So, when you see a player like that leave your screen, you got to know where they went. I like what you've done here. You did very well with conserving your boost. You did great adjusting for where that ball bounced off the post. Very hard to read. But you conserved your boost throughout that defense. And I give you praise for that. Because like you understand that Kaidek has taken a 50 here. That can go anywhere. You are between the ball and the goal. You see it goes this way. You should have been going for this, and L should be behind you. But L, for some reason, is super ball chasey. But what I will say is that, you know, right here, just kind of slow down. You turn here. Wait right here. Like, for some reason, you come all the way back towards net, and you don't really need to. And so because of this, Kaidek winds up being closer. He does that. They missed. They shouldn't be missing. But you adjust off that post bounce and you get a nice goal. So, this kickoff, you should be going left. Kaidek should be going straight for the cheat. Whether that happens, we'll find out. They do. But you need to be going left. That should be Kaidek's ball. Now, because you take this, you could have starved L of boost. Because here's the thing. And this is why I keep saying it for kickoffs. When L hits this ball, their momentum will take them to this side. Right? They're not doing this and then turning in. They are flipping into this ball. Their momentum is going to go to this side. That means that L has two options for boost. We have, this mid boost or the corner boost. But Kaidek is also going to follow the ball. So if the ball goes to the right, we now have 3 players fighting for 2 boost pads. Someone is going to miss out on boost. And we can see all 3 players are on this side of the field. L actually has to turn around because both boosts are taken. So now they're going very slowly towards that boost. And that's why I keep trying to ingrain this in people that where you go for boost matters off the kickoff. All right, let's see here. Okay, so you get the corner boost. So when does the third man at kickoff cheat up? Never. Third man never cheats. Third man never cheats. They're too far. They don't cheat. They get boost and then they join the play. Third man always gets boost. So let's say for example, we've got one player on the corner here, and then you've got 2 side by side. So one here, one here. Third man is actually the player on the left here, closer to the kickoff. So this player right here, I swear I've seen people do kickoff that way sometimes. It's wrong. I'm telling you it's wrong. They should not be. Doesn't matter what they're doing. It is inefficient and wrong. Because at higher ranks, that will matter. So anyways, going back to this scenario, we've got corner kickoff, one here, lined up together. Not one in the back, but lined up together side by side. This player goes there. This player goes there, or actually cheats up. Actually, hold on. I might be able to do this better. Hold on here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I can do this better. Let's go center screen here. All right. So this is a website I made. Unfortunately, this visualizer doesn't work anymore, and I need to fix it. But it's still a good tool for drawing on the canvas here. So let's just use black. So let's say we've got one here, one here, one here. In this situation, obviously, this player takes kickoff, goes that way. This player comes here, gets this boost, follows up. Depending on where the ball goes, they join the play. So kind of looking at this circle here, when they get to this point, they'll see where the ball goes, and based on where it goes is how they react. This player gets this and turns infield. Right? So let's say the ball let's say the ball goes this way. For some reason. We come back to this player here. They come up this way. You follow up this way as second man. This player follows along back here. So in that scenario, third man is determined by position of the first. Correct. Absolutely. 100%. It is determined by the kickoff. Because, as I mentioned, and actually let's refresh this so we can clear it. Actually, let's use a different color here. Let's, like I said, here, they come here. And so when they are diagonal, third man always goes for boost. Which kickoff are you talking about? When you say diagonal? I think the side-by-side is what was confusing. You're talking about like this? In this scenario? Or are you talking about where there's one in the back? Where the second and third are diagonal. So you're talking about with one player in the back here, right? Is that right? Yeah, one in the back and one just in front of him. All right, so let's refresh here, and we'll redo it here. So we got this one here, and we'll talk about both scenarios. I don't remember if they give you both scenarios, but in this case, this person is second. So you got 1, 2, 3. 3 gets boost, turns in field. Now, you could actually turn back towards net based on where the ball goes, but you are supposed to go for this back corner boost because, again, 1 is going to be going this way, and if the ball comes this way, 2 gets this boost. Now, you see that all 3 boosts, or these 3 boosts, are covered, and no one's having to fight for anything, right? And it's kind of the same way. Like I said, I don't remember if they do this scenario. I don't think they do. It doesn't sound familiar. But this person that's in front is a cheat. And the same rule applies that because of where player 1 is, they're typically going to land on that side. So you still would go for this boost regardless. You are not cheating up. Your goal is this boost as fast as possible. You are boosting to get this boost. Like, speed flip to get this boost. Like, as third man, your job is that boost. Unless the ball is, like, somehow coming immediately at your net, but it shouldn't be. It should not be. If that happens, that means 1 or 2 fucked up, or 1 and 2 fucked up bad. But that's going to be a very rare occasion and not something I want you to really train for. So let's go back here where we have here, here, and here. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. 1 gets ball, goes this way. 2 cheats up. 3 gets boost behind player 1. Player 1's not coming back for this boost. It's just too long and too far for them. Does that make sense? Like these are what you should be doing. Now we've got one more scenario to cover here. And now granted, you have to remember that people are not going to know this at your rank. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because when you do it, you will set yourself up. Actually, you know what? That's also actually, you know what? I think you are right. Now that I think about it, I think I do actually do that. And this person cheats. That's awful drawing. Actually, you are correct. I am thinking in I am wrong. So we got 1, 2. I do half flip and then fill in behind. And the reason why now thank you for reminding me, because you are correct. Is this person gets this boost, and this boost on their way forward. So when they start with 33, they'll probably have around 30 to 40 boost based on how well they do. But yeah. So we got one more scenario to cover. And that is here, here, and here. Because L was correct one time for doing that. You're right, right. And I got myself all confused at the end there. Or when I said it just now. But yes. So, in here, 1, 2, 3. So, this is a little bit of a weird one. Because 1 and 2 are kind of cheating. This is one where I thought third cheated. Yes, this is where third cheats. So what's going to happen is that you have this one boost here. Player 1 is not going to get it. So this player is going to come up here. This player gets this, then comes in behind, and player 3, actually, this is actually player 3. This is third man. Or this is player 2, this is player 3. So technically, the one in back here is the second man. But this is also a situation in which this ball can go either way. And if it goes to the right, you as second man are going to be low on boost regardless. So you may need here, let's refresh this here. Let's say this is you. You come up here. I tend to kind of play a little bit to the side. Just because if it comes this way, you're covering this side of this half of the field here, whereas you're gonna have 2 teammates over here. So if the ball winds up coming this way in this situation, I want you to rotate like that, because now as this ball comes this way, you are coming at the ball. And you have to remember that your third man is going to get this boost. And depending on where the ball is, they could either turn upfield or they could turn this way and play a near defense. But they should really most likely be relegating the defense to you. Right here. Because you are coming at the ball. They are just kind of doing like a little near post defense to just cover this. It is your job to cover basically everything. But they should give you precedence in this situation. But they also need to be checking where you are. And that may not happen. So they may wind up jumping for this unnecessarily. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, let me know, and I can go over it again. Yeah. So this will help for sure. Right. So when we look at it like this, let's say the ball goes this way. You're going to have player 1 come get it, and they're probably going to land over here. They may land over here as well. It doesn't really matter, because you cheat up like this, and this player fills in here, He's got net. You've got first attack on this ball. And it's entirely possible it may be over you, at which point you should fill in like this. Because in that time, this player should fill in like this. So that ball will be coming like this. Now I should really get this working again because it's actually kind of a cool tool. But what it was is you could be able to load up a replay file and you could watch it play out from a top-down perspective. And then in this case, you could go on here and you could, you know, draw all your things. I don't think it'll work if I try and do this again. It used to work. It used to work. I don't know that it's gonna right now. Yeah, it doesn't work right now. I gotta look at it again. But, you know, like it would show all the cars and you could see them, you know, driving around. You could see where the ball was, you know, all the cool things. But unfortunately, it's broken. But anyways. So that's a little primer on kickoffs and who should be going where and why. All right, so let's get back into the game. So this is a pretty hard shot. You know, obviously you're, you know, just kind of, you know, trying not to get demoed. You know, obviously, you know, looking back on it, you could have been a little closer to the goal. Because look what they have to shoot at and where you are. And that's just recognizing your positioning on the field from outside of your perspective. So by coming in a little bit quicker, potentially could have saved that. Actually, you could have saved it. So, and in fact, this is the scenario where you're supposed to go left and then come back to the goal. Uh-oh. Why did we get weird stuff here? Oh, I think it's not waiting after it. I think it's not waiting after it starts the guiding procedure for it to settle. I should really let it do that. So this is what I was talking about, where stars are like elongated. But I think the next one will probably be fine. All right, so right here you missed the boost. You don't you really shouldn't have time to go get that again, but yeah, you should have gotten that corner boost. All right, this is the scenario. If you hadn't missed the boost, you potentially could have aerialed. You could have jumped for that ball. All right, so in this scenario, you should be cheating up. And actually, great job everyone here. This is your ball to go for. Yep. Nice job landing on your wheels. You should leave. Okay, so in this scenario, what I would actually kind of want you to do Yeah, I mean, a shot is fine. So you have a couple of options. One, you can take control of it. You see that no one is here. So you could have taken this to the corner. You could have banged it off the corner. You also could have banged it off the backboard or the back wall. I would recommend not going for the shot most times, because once you get into higher levels, that's gonna kind of get saved. But right here, you're out of the play. You need to go get boost, or you should have gotten boost. Because higher levels, that's going to get cleared. It just so happens that your teammate L doesn't hit this ball, and everyone's kind of triple committing. So, anyways. Again, a little bit. We got to work on that kickoff. So, in a situation like this, where you get a double commit on kickoff, right here, your goal is get back and get boost. You do not want to be going forward, because your team is at a disadvantage right now, because you've just double committed. Someone has to go back and get boost. So don't turn left to come upfield. You should have gone back to mid boost and rotate behind. And now see, you're kind of on the back foot here with like no boost, and you just happen to get in the way. Ooh, I think you got a little ahead of yourself here. Because you could have jumped for this and you didn't. But, again, here's where I'm talking. You know, you make this play, far post. Go to the far post. You wind up cutting infield, and then you forget to let go of drive. And now you're at the near post again. And lo and behold, you're now past the goal, and the ball just goes over your head. So slow your roll. Slow your roll so that you can speed up. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Yeah, we gotta work on that kickoff. And you gotta work on doing diagonal flips. Alright, so what I would say here is I like that you're not using boost. Very good job on that. You are on defense, you need to conserve boost. What I would say is when you see a scenario like this, you're not getting this ball, you need, and you gotta anticipate Kaidak is gonna try and get this ball. So I would actually turn around and go into shadow defense, because you don't know where that ball is going. And everything after that was basically good. You know, just nothing else you could do there, you know? Alright, good. You get that boost. Yep, you leave that ball. Okay. What I would say, when you find yourself in a situation where you need to back up right here, think about was backing up really necessary? Because there should be very few times in which you're actually backing up legitimately. So if you had to back up like this, that means you've lost momentum and you've lost boost, because you need boost to get back up to speed. So if instead you had taken a wider turn, or even just not even done, you know, the 180 here, like just kind of keep looking at this and slow down here, you actually probably could have even gone for this sooner, but I like the clear. I like that you're coming across the net. All right, we were right here. I said I liked that. A little bit more ball cam, as I said. This is fine. Yeah, let your teammate take that. L is off in Narnia right now. I don't know what they're doing. So like L, like they're on a scenic drive. I don't know where they're going. But you see that they take up a position up there. And Kaidak is being very aggressive. Alright. One thing I would like to see. This is fine. You turn. You see that bizarre bull jumps at you going from left to right. So they're trying to block in front of your goal. Kind of put it towards the wall if you can. Because you don't want this getting dunked into your goal. Yep, there's another demo attempt. Because you weren't watching. So you see DJ go off the screen. To your right. In the corner. Where are they going to be coming back? Right at you. Alright. And your team gets another goal. So in this case, you're supposed to go left. You're not the cheat. There are never two cheats. I like that you're being a little passive here because you know you're not going to get this ball. So you're just kind of waiting to see. That's just a little bit of a misread. I don't blame you. I would kind of get out. You don't... So, yeah. In this scenario right here, where is L? Do you know where they are? Where do you think they are? We never know where L is. But we should. We should know where L is. L's right next to you. So, you're sitting here playing kind of a shadow defense. Well, your teammate is literally just playing regular defense for you. And we see them come into frame. But in situations like this, where you see both of them, you see one go behind you, that's fine. Everything you've done here is fine. But you make this play, and because you get bumped here, you make this play, and then you kind of get bumped here. Unless you touch that ball right now, you get out. Just leave. You're not part of this play anymore. And we could see Kaidak and L both committing for this ball. Which, it's the end of the game. Whatever. But you're third man on defense. So if Bizarre Bull gets a clear, you've kind of got like a 2 or 3 on 1 that you have to deal with. Because DJ could come and demo you, and Bizarre could just come and shoot off the back of that.